Out with a buddy of mine at this adobo event, right? So with the adobo events, they generally play more like reggaeton music, which is cool. I like it. And they also tend to draw a big crowd, right? But with the adobo events, they kind of haven't had like a set location, right? It's oftentimes been, one event here, one event there, and you're kind of moving around, right? So continuing that trend, this time the event is held at a place called Culture, right? And, coming up to the place didn't look like anything from the outside, right? Kind of had like a warehouse sort of vibe to it from the outside. You're like, okay, what am I really stepping into? But get inside and it's pretty nice, right? And we're there early, so the crowd is still a bit thin, right? But we decide to go near the bar, to go by the bar, and kind of hang out there, right? He and I, had been kind of talking to each other face to face. Then we're kind of leaning on the bar, right? So I'm leaning on one side, looking towards him. He's on the other side, then, looking towards me, and we're talking. And of course, there's a little bit of space between us, right? So we're talking, looking out the crowd, talking some more. Then a woman comes like right in the middle of the two of us, right? So we'd been kind of, like I said, almost catty corner facing each other, steps right in the middle of the two of us, which is uncommon, right? Especially because like there are not many people there and there's plenty of space on the bar, right? If you want to go up to the bar, you didn't have to come right between us, but her doing so, I think we both took it as a sign of interest, right? So we both start talking to the girl, um, young woman, and conversation's going well. Then I notice she actually is there with three of her friends, right? But the three friends are maybe 5 feet back from her, and are kind of standing there, but standing and facing towards her, right? So he and I have been talking to the one woman, and then three friends are kind of standing off to the side, but still facing her, kind of, waiting for her to come and rejoin them, right? And this is a signal to me to begin to leave the conversation with the one woman and start to engage the friends because I can see that the friends are interested in what their friend is doing and getting their friend back, right? And this is very common. What you'll see is that many people who go out in these social situations go out with a friend or with a group of friends. And many times when these folks are out, they would like to stay very close and connected to all of their friends, right? This isn't always the case. Some people are kind of on the other end of the spectrum where they may go out with their friends, but it's known and understood that there may come a time in the night where they separate, and that's fine. And not even fine, it's a good thing, right? But in this case, with the friends hanging kind of so close and watching, I could tell that they maybe weren't on that side of, hey, the friend's gone off and no big deal, let's do our own thing. It was more of the friend's kind of gone off a little bit, so let's wait here until she comes back and potentially encourage her to come back sooner, right? So noticing this, I began a conversation with the three friends, right? My buddy's still talking with the one woman. I began the conversation with the three friends, and as this happens, it's clear that him and the one woman are enjoying their conversation and things are going well, and they're talking with the friends, and it isn't quite going as well with me and the three of them. So eventually, I end up breaking off from the friend group, and he ends up, you know, having a good connection with the one woman, right? And I feel like the reason that he was able to get this one-on-one time was because I engaged the rest of the group, right? And that is really the lesson here, is that when you're out in these social situations, sometimes you may need to realize that in order to get close to the one person that you really like, you also have to have some sort of connection with the friends that he or she came with, right? If you don't engage the friend group, it can be seen as a bit rude that, hey, there's more than just one of us here, and you're not going to talk to you're only going to talk to one of us, and so kind of screw you. Or it can just be seen, as or it can be like, hey, the this is our friend. We came out to enjoy the night together, and so we're going to, we're going to pull her back with us because we came together, we're leaving together, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like I said, don't get upset by it. Don't feel like it's a bad thing. Really come to expect that that will be the case a lot of the time, right? And the way you navigate that is to engage with the larger group. So when you're out, you'll often find people in groups, engage with the larger group, but also still show interest in the person that you really like if you are interested in one person more than the others in the group, right? It's not a wrong or bad thing to show and convey that you are interested in someone, right? Whether it be for networking or romance or whatever else, it's okay to kind of put yourself out there, to express your interest, to try and engage them, to try and connect with them and follow up, right? But just realize that there may be more to it than just the one person by themselves. And so you have to maintain this awareness if you want to connect with that one person. So keep that in mind when you're getting out there, and have fun.